I've been going back and forth of whether I should review this fragrance. This is, of course, Smoulder by Aaron Terence Hughes and Fragmental. I've been going back and forth because of the obvious elephant in the room if I was to review this, and that is that Chris is pretty much my best friend. Not just within fragrance, but really, like, he's probably my best friend. He came to Edinburgh recently and surprised me. I didn't think he was going to be able to make it for my birthday in Edinburgh, but there he was. That was unbelievable, and added to that, he was wearing this. So that's just going to add even more kind of emotional bias for this fragrance. And so I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't review it. But the more I thought about it, there are some things I'd like to add. There are some guides that I'd like to give. But I'm going to do a compromise. There will be no ratings in this video. I will not be giving my opinions in this video. I will be trying to the very best of my ability, just give you an objective outlook on this fragrance, because there will be people who will like this fragrance, there will be people who will not like this fragrance, and I want to literally just engage with you the pros and cons of this fragrance on a more objective level. So would you like this? What I'd say is that if you've ever liked Chris's major recommendations for the autumn and the winter, so for example Enigma, Oud Wood, Ombre Leather and Tuscan Leather especially, and Pardon by Nascimato, there's a good chance that you're going to like this. This is pretty much in the same realm as Mr. Smelly's release Gravitas, as in you kind of know what Mr. Smelly likes, and then you get Gravitas and it pretty much smells like an ensemble of everything he's ever recommended. Smoulder seems to be in that same ilk. It seems to be the same idea of an amalgamation of everything that Chris has ever majorly recommended. So if you like that, if you like autumn and winter fragrances that have a lot more leather accords, leather musk accords, this is going to be for you. Woods, probably, but test it. This has an element of sweetness to it, but this is more for somebody who really is a big fan of leather, and in particular how Tom Ford have used leather in their catalogue. I think honestly that this would fit quite snugly into Tom Ford's phase of between 2007 to about 2013. If Tom Ford had released this in that era, nobody would have really batted an eye. Also, this has a resemblance to the way that Nascimato make fragrances. Aaron has even said that he likes Alessandro, who is the mastermind behind Nascimato. So you've got these two kind of different, clear inspirations between Tom Ford and Nascimato. And if you like those brands and the way that they do things, especially when it comes to autumn and winter and darker fragrances, there is a good chance that you will pick up on this and you will appreciate it. So presentation, again, Tom Ford is sort of lingering. This looks like a combination between the Ombre Leather bottle and the Private Line bottles. This is, yeah, similar to the Tuscan Leather, the Oud Wood look especially, but it's in this cylindrical, it's in this cylindrical bottle. So, yeah, you can totally tell where the inspirations are from. So the scent, it really is like, when I smelt this, it just smells like something that Chris would wear. When I originally smelt this on him, I personally didn't know which fragrance it was from his collection, but I knew distinctively that this was something completely that Chris would wear. I'd say that there are hints of Ombre Leather in the opening. That clean, leathery note from Ombre Leather is 100% there, but then there's something that is darker, a bit more of a crescendo. Ombre Leather is kind of light in a way, even though it is leathery. This one is a lot deeper, a lot richer. And again, it borrows from the sensibilities of something like Pardon, even Duro, even Black Afghano. Those are much darker and richer fragrances. They're more resinous. They're harder in a way to completely appreciate. So it's taken that all in, but also meshed it with a lovely, clean, viable leather that people can very much appreciate. This would be more typical for somebody who's older. And this is a mature fragrance. Somebody who is younger, somebody who appreciates more sweeter designer fragrances may not get this as much. They may not appreciate it as much. Somebody who is a fan of sweet fragrances, such as myself, this might be a bit tougher. What I will say is that this is tougher to wear than ombre leather, but that could be a very good thing. Projection longevity, I've got two examples really. When I was with Chris, he surprised me. We were in the Voodoo Rooms in Edinburgh. It's a big club. Could smell him instantaneously. So for me, that is a strong projection. And whenever I've worn it, the projection is pretty bloody strong. And, you know, it's out there. As for longevity, the linear nature of this fragrance means that you will probably become olfactive fatigued very quickly. As in, you will probably think that it's gone, but it's not, I can assure you. It's quite strong. But that is the problem with the linear nature of this fragrance. The top is similar to the bottom. There are things that go down in sort of volume, but overall it is the same fragrance. If you're a fan of Tom Ford, if you're a fan of niche fragrance houses that like to play with musky leathers, vibrant and strong resins, and if you just know what Chris's palette is, then this is going to fit into that category, and it is of that quality to be able to sort of hang with the fragrances that it's inspired by. So as I said, people who like even more stricter designer fragrances, things like 1 Million, you know, the Paco Rabannes of the world, those really, really sweet fragrances, even the new trend of caramel, you know, all of the sweet vanilla chocolate, marshmallowy kind of scents. This will not work for you, or it potentially might not work for you. This is somebody who appreciates more gruff and edgier fragrances. Anyway, I hope that I've done the best I can. I hope that I've given some insights that you may not have thought of with other reviews. Again, I'm not necessarily telling you whether it's good or bad from me personally, but I am definitely sending you in the right direction if you have liked previous works that this is inspired by. And if you're a fan of Aaron Terence Hughes, then this could be potentially up there with some of his more streamlined, more easier to access fragrances, and that's that's quite a high bar in a way, because Aaron Terence Hughes loves to experiment and to do crazy things. So there you go. Hope that you got the information that you needed. I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.